Hello everybody, my name is Matt Hampo and I thought I'd start a new games project. So yeah, I suppose the best place to start is at the very beginning, which of course means making a short game design document. I've already got an idea of what I would like to make, but I thought I'd go through the process of me just getting things started. Usually what I do is just flesh out a very basic document, pretty much just include the idea for the game and move on to making a basic checklist for a prototype, like pretty much things I want to make so that I can start, making the prototype, like going through each feature. It'll make sense in a bit. Okay, so the idea that I have, whoops, where are we? There we go. It's basically a top-down 2D shooter game where you hunt bounty targets for gold. Maybe not checklist, let's go to-do list. Okay, usually what I'd do is I'd take a look around at games that I like or things that, I find interesting or take my fancy and see what those games do. But I've already got a pretty good idea. Like at the moment this is just the start of the project, so don't need like any details like mood boards, style guides, aesthetics, really complex description on mechanics, because yeah, I'll just be working on this on my own for now. But if I was in a group, then excellent idea to go into enough detail to get your point across. So like if you're doing something like, oh, it's a top-down shooter game, and instead of going on some big spiel about, oh, this is what I'd like to do here, what I'd like to do there, just say, think of it a bit like, ooh, I don't know, Enter the Gungeon meets Skyrim, or maybe The Binding of Isaac meets, I don't know, Pac-Man. Like, could be a whole bunch of things. If you can make your game, if you can explain your game in a simple enough way so that it's like, okay, it's like this game with this, but it's got a few little tweaks in there. It's like, oh, okay, I kind of see what you're getting at. And I don't know, if people are interested, then yeah, you can just flesh it out a lot more and go into details. But at the moment, we're just making a very basic prototype. So, well, we'll see how it goes. So, first we need to add is player movement, just so that we can get some very basic gameplay going. Okay, whoops, okay, so pretty much just putting down some very basic stuff. For the first list, we'll just make it have a player that moves around a level, which is going to be called level 00. I usually make one just for testing, like say if you want to check collisions or basic mechanics, that's usually how it goes. Just make like a testing, a little bit like a shooting range, because, well, the game's going to be a shooter, so make a shooting range For now, we'll do tile map and collisions and do a basic tile set. So that's good to get started with for now, I guess. And in case you're wondering why I'm doing it, it's just like short little lists like this. I find it's an excellent way to stay motivated if you're starting off on a new game. You may say, oh, what did you build today? Well, I made a basic prototype. It's like, oh, okay, sounds interesting. But if you say, oh, well, made a basic prototype, but I've got all these things I did, like I did player movement, adding collisions and stuff. Down here we might do something with shooting, you know, it's like, well, okay, sounds like you got a lot done. Sounds a little bit, I don't know, saying, oh, you're just, you know, making it sound like you're doing more work, but trust me, later on, if you can go through a checklist and say, what did I do today? Well, I did 6, and if you had some more down here, maybe did like 12 or so things today, you just feel like, you know, you've achieved a lot more, especially when it comes to like more complex things where you don't exactly know what you're doing in terms of like what you want, but you're like saying, okay, so let's say, ooh, I want to do like an upgrade system for my guns or something, and you get maybe like one upgrade done for it, or the very basic system behind it. It's like, yeah, it didn't really achieve that much, but if you break it down to smaller tasks, it makes it more manageable. Suppose, I don't know, this will do for now. There's a lot more that I want to do. Up in the game idea, I'll just add this in. Whoop, upgrade there. Power up. So player can upgrade their weapon with power-ups, like a spaceship shooter. I'll go up. Whoops. Tempo for mission / bounty hunt. And once again, pretty much at the moment it's just improvisation, because very rarely I find when you're making a game from scratch, you don't have an exact idea of what you want. Like you'd see it even with your big games and stuff, how look at something like Resident Evil 4, it's like, here's a trailer showing off, you know, this atmospheric lighting, and you've got all these crazy looking things, but at the end of it you may say, yeah, this isn't quite working, not really how we intended, so we'll just start again. So you've got games like Devil May Cry being made. It was originally a Resident Evil 4 prototype or early build. They thought, we'll just branch this off into its own thing, I'll be fine, make something else for Resident Evil 4, and there you go. But for now, I think, so that the game idea is more manageable, just make it top-down shooting, complete your missions or hunt your bounty targets for gold, and to mix up the gameplay, just temporary weapon power-ups like a shooter. Yeah, that'll be good for now. Okie dokie, let's head into Godot and start making something. What have we got here? Documents. Yeah, that'll do. Let's make a new one. Change this one to gold bounty. Okay. So we'll just start you up. Okie dokie. Using Godot because it's an engine that I've actually come to really enjoy using. Like, I'm sure there's other ones out there that might be able to do what I'm after a lot better, like say Unity or Unreal, but no, Godot's good. And it's 100% free, so if you're interested, you can just download it and give it a shot. I mean, why not? It's just free. So just make a new scene, enter, save this into a new folder to keep things organized. Usually have the very least 4 folders. Making a game, usually have scenes, might as well add them in now, scripts, sprites, whoop, not that one, new folder, and resources. Pretty self-explanatory. I usually keep all of your scenes in one folder, just makes it a lot easier to keep track of things. Scripts, just full of .gd files, which is the scripts which the engine uses to run. Sprites, anything visual, like could be player animations, tile maps, whatever. Resources, I usually put in engine specific stuff, such as when we make a tile map for the thing, because we've got it on our little checklist here. I'll save out the tile map as its own resource, so later on if I want to use it again, I can just drag and drop into other files. Okay. What I'll do is I'll just edit the project settings and I'll make this 640 by 360. 1280 by 720. Okay. I won't be needing this. Ooh, better do scaling. There's lots of different modes, but this is just so that when I save and test the scene, which will pop up now, everything behaves correctly. And memory serves, might be wrong on this, I'm pretty sure when it comes to your setup like this, we're already in thing, pretty sure that this width and height is standard for web games on itch.io, I think. I'll have to double check, it's been a while since I did any futzing around with that. But anyway, seems pretty simple enough. Just chuck on the grid. It's a sorry, the layout of everything is pretty much divisible by 8. So if we zoom down here, the very edge, the project falls within an 8x8 grid, which you can see up here. 8 pixels by 8 pixels. Okay, so that's sorted for now. We'll start off with making a tile map. Change the cells to, let's go 16 by 16 pixels. Yeah, that'll do. Make a new tile set. Come into here. Just pop in and make something quickly for it. Usually when I'm prototyping, the one thing I want to avoid is to spend a whole lot of time on making animations and new assets. So I'm just making something really simple. In here, just a few squares. The reason being is because if you spend all this time making all these, spiffy animations and graphics, and later on you realize, oh wait, this doesn't quite feel right, or I need to make a different type of one, instead of spending hours upon end trying to make a, perfect animated character, but you have to change it later on, then yeah, just saves a lot of unnecessary work. I mean, sure, you could use it for a different game, but, well, just keep it simple. So the palette I'm using I got from Low Spec. It's called Shido 50. I like the colors it's got set up. We'll just make a few different color tiles. Let's see. Yep, that'll do. We'll just save it as... Ooh, okay. What's going on here? So that was in Documents, Memory Serves. Go back. What? There's two of them. Hang on a second. Yeah, I've got everything set up. What's going on here? It's just an empty folder. Huh. Okay. Oh, it's for the... It's where I save the bloody game design document. Okay. No, it's all good. Sort that out. Testing out tiles. Okay. So that's saved. We go export file, tiles testing, export. Okay, we jump back to, whoop, where is it? Godot. We come down here to sprites. There's our image. Just reference it here. Oh, it's a wee bit small, just zoom in a wee bit. Going to go new single tile, put on the grid, snap options, we'll just change that to 16 because that's the size we had before, and select a tile. We'll just call this tile 0. Okay, new single tile goes there, but call this tile 01. Tile 02 and tile 03. And if you want to bring up the little tooltip so you can see what they are, tiles here, you can scroll between them. Well, you can't really see them, but they become a little bit lighter or a little bit darker if they're selected or unselected. So we back out of that, select tile here, we can draw out some stuff, other ones here. So that's working fine for now. Not sure if I want to do this in pixel art, because these are just squares. You select the image you've got there, go to import, preset 2D pixel, re-import. So if we jump back into here, yeah, it just looks a lot crisper. Well, it's not really that noticeable now, but later on if you're putting in like fancy sprites and stuff, it will make a difference. Like, it won't look as blurry. Okie dokie, so pop back over to here. We've got, let's make that green. Tile map. Done. Tile set, do done as well. Got multiple tiles. Adding in collisions. Okay. So collisions, we go over here. What I'll do is run tile 0, put in a basic square, so that's considered solid. Yeah, and we can't really test it out too well, but I'll have to make a play character for that. I'll just take my word for it for now. We'll get there. Okay, collision's done. Play movement, create player object, add in movement, collision detection. Okie dokie, let's head back. New scene. I'm going to make something called a Kinematic Body 2D. What that is it's pretty much a physics object that is designed to move around. Like there's a little running dude there. Has this exclamation mark. Configuration warning, has no shape, so it can't collide or interact with other objects. Consider adding collision shape or collision polygon, which is what we'll be doing next. So we'll just do a shape for now. First, I'm going to add in a color rectangle, and we're just going to make it so stepping by 8, we'll make it 32 by 32 and centered. Yeah. Up to the collision shape, we're going to add circle. We just drag it up here so we can see it. There we go. So instead of making a square, usually like to work with more rounded shapes, because if you're colliding with corners of tiles or objects, when your player's moving he can kind of slide, or there's a little bit of give to how he moves around and such. And so that he can fit between tiles correctly, pop up here, change this to 15. So you can barely see it. There's a little bit of a gap between the edge of the player and the collision shape. All makes sense in a wee bit. Player, going to save this in scenes as player. And let's change the shape. Let's see. Might make this guy greeny color, I suppose. Maybe a wee bit more yellow. Yeah, that looks alright. Right, save. Now we start programming in a script. So we just make it go into the scripts folder we did before. Create. So we, in the little thing here, there's our player script. Alright, let's see. Don't need that. Keep that there just in case. Don't need that. So we need to define some variables for the player to use. We need to make a motion vector. I'm going to make a movement speed. We'll keep it at 32. We can always change it later on. Actually, we'll do export of that'll make sense in a moment. Because when you come and click over here on player, in the script variables, you can set the movement speed here. It's good for testing. And oh, they must have changed the shortcut for that. Oh, yep, okay. It's no biggie. Alright, so that we can get this fella moving, I'm going to make a new function and call a physics process delta. We're not using deltas, we'll just tab that out. Motion equals, before you move the character, set up the motion. So probably better if we call it as a separate function. Let's call it get move. Then we'll go move and slide. Motion times by move speed to 0. I think that's all I need for now. What I'm doing is I'm getting the inputs from keyboard button presses, multiplying it by movement speed, which will make sense in a moment. This vector 2 here, this is usually used in 2D platformers. You need to like define, okay, this is the up direction. Because we're doing a top-down game, isn't as important unless there's like specific things you want to do. So we'll just leave it at 0 for now. Okay, so we're going to have to make get move. Usually before doing any things like this, like any custom functions, I would make a variable called calc. Just helps organize things. And I'm going to make it return calc. So at the moment it'll go set the motion to get move, then you go move and slide, direction the character's moving at the speed, and in order to make that into a number we can use, or rather a vector 2 in this case, define it here, vector 2 0, vector 2 calc. So then we go here, we edit the x value of calc. We're going to go integer of, actually no, we'll wait for a second. Needed to find some keys. I'll pop it with an error. Yeah, we'll just leave it there for now. Go to project settings, input map. Going to go move up, down, move left, move right. Going to make it listen for a key. Move up will be W. Move down will be S. Move left is A. Move right is D. Because the idea I have is just use your WASD keys to move your mouse around and click to shoot. Yeah, so back here we're going to get the, I'll just do it first and explain it after. Let's go, so that's X value, that's left and right, so go right. Copy U, paste, Y. Move down, move up. Okay, so what I've done is detected the key presses. Input is action pressed. Move right and move left. This int thing here converts whatever value this is a true or false statement, like is the key pressed, is it not pressed? If it is, 1, if it's not, 0, which is what you get when you put into an integer tag like this. So we've got 2 of those. If the player is moving left, then this will be 0, this will be -1, so I'll be moving -1. If he's moving right but not moving left, that'll be 1 minus 0, so it'll be +1. If none of those are pressed, it'll return 0, or even if both of them are pressed, like both left and right, it'll return 0. Same with up and down, so if he's down, +1, if it's up, -1 on the y-axis. And to help smooth things out in terms of movement, go normalized. What that does is it takes the x and y values of a vector, and instead of returning them as the x and y, it returns it as a direction. So, there's a big explanation about that, but the idea is that when you apply movement speed to it, it looks a lot smoother and behaves a bit better. So get move, move and slide, vector 2, 0, etc, etc. Save that. So we can test it. We'll draw out some stuff on this tile map. Just make a wee box there. And put some obstacles or something, just to test it out. I don't do fancy, it's just a test. Going to link in the player that we got. That'll be there. And hopefully, if all goes well... Oh, better select a scene. We should have some play movement going. Oh, yep, just close that down a wee bit. Okay. So we do have player movement. However, he's not in the level. So let's move this fella here. Okay, try again. And there we go, he moves around. Can't go through the walls. As he's moving a wee bit slow, we can just up the speed. We'll do it to 64. Run it again. It's moving a wee bit faster. And I know it kind of cuts off there, but that's because we defined it as a circle. Usually if you're using a player sprite, you'd have transparency, so I don't know, if we make a circle for the player, you wouldn't be seeing the corner pieces, but everything seems to be working. And if you've got like a little area like this, you can pop in here, because these tiles are 16 by 16, the player's 32 by 32, 2 tile gap. You can walk in there, no problems, because with the circle that we made before, we just made it a little bit smaller, just a wee bit. So to make sure, we're going to pop over to here, sort out all those. So, play movement, added in the movement, collision detection, tile maps collision. That's one checklist done. Okay, so let's put in shooting. By extension, put in bullets. To make create bullet on mouse click. Flows towards cursor. Bullets. Okay. Just check in. Is at a given angle. Is at a given angle. Destroys on hit. add in a little bit of extra spiffiness, we probably need to sort out the cursor. Need to hide the cursor. I don't know, create a crosshair icon. Let's put that in there. Could use a draw function for that. Should be a draw circle or draw arc function we can use. I don't know, we'll see what happens. This is just for like window dressing. Okie dokie, so I think we'll start on bullets. Yeah. So let's make a new node. Let's keep this. Just make a circle. So let's make a rigid body for now, which is similar to a kinematic body, whereas except this one can move around. Well, it's similar to the kinematic body that we got for the player, but the player has some functions built in for movement. Actually, I'll change the type. I'll try a kinematic body. I usually use other ones, but well, give it a shot. Going to go collision shape 2D. I'm just going to make a circle. Make you 8. Just a little dot there. That's fine. Save the bullet. Add a script to him. Okay. As with that other body we'll do, we'll go motion equals vector 2.0. Whoop. Dot 0. Sort this out. Going to go physics process delta. Won't be using delta, I don't think. If I was using a rigid body, I'd probably have to use delta, or most likely have to use delta, just so that things behave correctly when they're moving. Make a true false variable called alive. If alive, and we won't need an else. Move and slide. We're going to go motion times by move speed. Zero. But there's no move speed, so we'll just put you up here. We had 64. Go 1 to 8. Whoops. 1 to 8. So let's see. Player. Yeah, 64. So you want it to be a bit faster than the player for testing. live, true, ready, process, if live, move and slide, vector 2. Collision shape, bullet. Mouse entered, mouse exited. That's why I don't use kinematic. I need to detect when it hits something. Okay. Yep, my mistake. Change type. Rigid body 2D. That still requires a collision shape. Just that fellow. Whoop. I'm going to connect this signal to that. Got to change the type of script to rigid body 2D. So that no longer behaves, so that means we're going to have to come back to here. Yep. Okay. Bit of a dog's breakfast. It's been a while since I've had to make bullet behaviors. Q3. So if the bullet's alive, move along direction. I'll fix that in a bit. If not, destroy itself. When the bullet enters body, then set alive to false. Let's make this simple. Position equals motion times my move speed. Just for testing purposes, we'll put this, put a bullet. Oh, it usually helps if you have something to actually show. We'll just put in a color rect for now. Make that, ooh. Red. Yeah. And I might change the player color to more of a blue, actually. Alright, no need to get fancy. And you're not appearing. What's going on? I probably missed something. Play a bullet. Let's make you there for now. Okay. So he's not doing anything, we're just going to have him sit there. It's acting on gravity. Okay. Can't remember offhand how to disable gravity, but if we go into the help, let's say use integrate forces, platformer, instancing demo, mass weight, friction, balance, physical gravity scale. Yeah, that could work. Gravity scale, we'll just put you at 0. Does that stop you from moving? Yeah. That's interesting, but no. That's the one thing I was afraid of when live streaming. It's like, don't worry, I should be able to handle this. All of a sudden, I can't handle this. Okay. Let's see if we're going to do that there. So the bullet only needs to detect when it's hitting something. It doesn't need physics. Well, physics collisions and stuff like we saw in the test. So we use an area 2D instead. See how that works. So an area 2D is, well, as the name suggests, it's just something that's there and can detect collisions. That's it. Body entered, body. Oh, okay, so alright, that copies over. That saves a bit of time. Okay. Text body, which would be the player. And I suppose walls, but we can. But that should be covered under that. There, 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 there. So if I move into the bullet, it disappears. Okay, cool. Just call you off. Moves at a given angle. Okay. So that means we need to go position equals, or rather going to increment motion times by move speed. So that'll be at a certain angle at a certain speed. Because this is in a kinematic body with move and slide, which has the thing built in, just times it by delta time. So at the moment, this will be just the bullet sitting still because there's no angle given to it. But if we change this to say vector 1, so it'll be +1, +1 on x and y. This guy should move at an angle. Yep, that works. I probably need a wee bit of coffee. Let's see, so with this motion, when we create the bullet, we're going to set it to the value of an angle. We're going to set its angle when you create it. So at the moment, just having it at 0, that'll be fine. On ready, we'll keep that there just in case. I suppose I'll do well later on when we've got this here on bullet body entered body. We can check this body thing to see if it's a player or a wall or object, enemy, anything we want, and we can do situational behaviors for it. Like at the end, it'll always be, it's no longer alive and it destroys, but you can do things like, say, bullet hits a wall, maybe that section of wall breaks, or if it hits an enemy, it does damage just to the enemy. Or, well, there's other possibilities. There, that should be fine. Player, rigid body, we'll close you for now. Some of the handy dandy things I like about Godot is that you can just search up whatever you want, like let's say vector 2. Say you don't know how they work. You can bring up this little link to the documents and it pretty much breaks it down with descriptions, sometimes there's online tutorials, properties, methods. With methods, they're like the things we see over here, like move and slide. That's a method for kinematic body. Over here it's like, oh, you can find out the angle of the vector, or the angle to point. So you're like, wait a second, you're talking about angles, isn't that what we're doing next? There we go. Alright, so check you off. I suppose another one we should do here is kind of important. Detect cursor position. This can't do much unless you're detecting it. Okay, so going to, what am I going to do? Tackle this first, the cursor position. So temporarily I'm going to put in a label. Really wondering why a label? Just a wee text box. Information. Was it custom styles? It was custom fonts, font color, shadow. We'll leave that as 0 for now. So we've got F6 or test scene. Yeah, that's readable. Okay, we'll just call this. Just call it debug. Going to come back into here, create a new script for level 0. Going to reference that there. You do that by going on ready variable. We're going to call it, I'll just call it debug equals, we're going to use $, which will reference children in the scene. I'm going to go debug. Going to take you out. We're going to put in another one here. Whoop. Debug.text equals, we're going to convert a variable to a string, because labels in this require strings to be input. Go get global, oh there it is, get global mouse position. So we go save, we run you. That little text box should give us the location of the mouse. So that should be getting up around 0. Okay. Pound decimals 1. No, we'll do this. We'll go here. And this should make it look a bit neater. Okay, so we'll grab the mouse location, so instead of having to keep calling this function over and over again, we'll just define it here. We'll go mouse equals get global mouse position. Mouse X, mouse Y. Save, test. So that should behave as before. Yes, okay, that's fine. Just go make a new function called shoot for now. Just reference the player because I'm going to make the bullet appear near the player, then shoot off in the direction. So we need the player's position and the mouse position. Okay, I'll just break it down even further. So we're going to So we referenced the bullet and we're making a new bullet. We're going to set bullet dot position equals player dot position. Motion. Wait, we defined it as motion, didn't we? Yeah, motion. settings. That's what we're doing, getting rid of that, because we called it B. Position, angle to point, mouse. B. I suppose that's working. The only problem is we haven't called the shoot function. Okay. Put I can't remember this. Hang on a second. Just type in mouse. Now we'll go input. Probably be better. Okay, we'll just define it in project settings. Let's call it shoot gun. Detect mouse button. Device arrow left button. Yes. Close. Back to here. If we go if input in out is action, just press shoot gun. So with just press, that detects once instead of if it's being held down. So non-existent function new. Miss something. Packed scene. Okay, now that's fine. We got some wires crossed because there's the load and preload options. So I reckon just making the object preload that using instance. Okay. So that's the case, we just chuck it down here. Preload that instance. Isn't a constant expression, and with brackets after it. Change that to B. Angle to point mouse, child. vector 2 and float, two different types of variables going together. They shouldn't. So does it have method signals? No. Okay. So we're going to have to convert this. That'll be motion. Well, if I can bloody learn how to spell vector 2, make you 128 by 128. Yeah. Times by delta. Let's print out to the console that so yeah, it's doing something. It just looks like it's jittering. So change the collisions for it. That on 2, we're going to go level 0. Here, where's the tile map? We'll go collision, put you there. Take you off at the moment. Okay, so it's not that. Bullet. Is It's alright, I'm going to go and grab a coffee and mull this over a wee bit. I'll be back in a moment. Okie dokie. So, let's see what we got here. Going from the player position, creates a bullet. Moves towards, sets the angle of motion from the position to where the mouse is, defined up here. Maybe put this position at an offset. So instead of it spawning right in the player, it spawns just a wee bit away from it. So okay, let's type in another calc function. Going to make this player position going to go whoop, angle to point, maybe just angle 2. Give that a shot. Copy this, get rid of that. So the position is going to be calc plus we'll leave that as calc for the moment. So that's just an angle. Go there. Be position plus equals vector no, making an offset. We'll still make that the player position. Plus get calc times by vector 2 will make the offset 16 by 16. Set the motion to calc. Let's try this. You're still not working. Okay. Actually, no. Won't do that. Now's a good time to bust out the draw function. Process. We're going to go update. Or is it just regular update? Yes. Going to go here, func draw. I think it was draw line from, we'll go player position to go mouse, and we'll make it white, I suppose. Width 2, I suppose. Anti-alias, we won't be needing that, I don't think. Okay, so that's working there. Going to change this debug text. We're going to grab player position angle to mouse. Oh, whoops, forgot to do a string. Okay, my bad. That explains it. That angle is being returned as radians, but we need it as a vector too, because the bullet behavior behaves on vector 2. So whenever it's creating, it's just popping up with like weird futsy, oh, it's like point yada 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 of a position. So there's probably some, oh wait, actually before I start trying to futz with maths, let's see what we got here. Seal clamped. Direct, excellent. Direction 2 returns the normalized vector pointing from this vector to B, including using B minus A normalized. Okay. Oh, that's handy. That's the fun thing I like about game dev. It's like you don't know how to do something, you do a little bit of futzing, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is working. Direction 2. So now that should pop up in the text as a vector 2. That's what we're after. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, so it's not angle 2, it's direction 2, mouse. That's going to be calc the direction with the offset at 16, so that'll place it outside of the player object. The motion is going to be calc because that's chucked into the bullet script. Add child. So hopefully this works. Aha, now it's spawning away from it. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of futzing here. I'm gonna make you 32 by 32. So we've got a slow moving bullet. Here we're going to put the offset at 24 by 24. So it's a bit further away from the player. There we go. Because the bullet needs to collide with the environment as well as the player. Like it behaves differently depending on what the bullet hits, but for now that will work. So yeah, it looks kind of cool. Okay. So obviously the next thing we need to do, well, get rid of this. We don't need testing. Testing, where are the delete nodes? Delete, yes. So that'll get rid of that little fella, but we can still shoot. Yes, okay. So pop back to the bullet. We'll chuck your movement speed up. Of course, when you move around, you can shoot. It's all well and good, but we should put a bit of a delay on there. So let's put a timer on here. We'll set it to 0.5 per second. Yes. Node timeout. I'm going to connect that to level 0. So when the timer's done, we're going to go let's call it loaded for now. Because it's still a prototype, we don't have to worry too much about naming, just so that it makes sense. You're saying, okay, is gun loaded? Sure. Later on you'll do things like, I don't know, you can do lots of things like global variables, which you can edit here and there, or you can make self-contained classes, or all this other fancy stuff. But for now, just go loaded true. Up here we go if loaded shoot. Whoops, and we're going to go loaded. Actually, no, we'll define it. Do this behavior here and shoot. We'll go loaded equals false. So if we start spamming clicking, it doesn't work. And now it really doesn't work. Okay, I overlooked something. Hang on a second. Load is true. Yep. Load equals false. Maybe at the end there. If loaded, you can shoot. If not, do nothing. That's why, because it didn't start the timer. Whoops. Oh hey, let's just add in a timer. That would be great. It'd be nice if it actually worked. Okay, ready? We'll just call this timer equals timer. Whoop, timer. And we go here, we go start. You could probably hear that clicking. Yeah, I'm just spamming clicks, but you're only getting a slow fire rate. That's nice. That's working how it should. Okay. So let's pop back to our little checklist here. Shooting. Bullet flies towards cursor. Those are done. Detect cursor position. That's done. Now we're getting somewhere. Hide the cursor. Create our own cursor. So, what we're going to do. What would be a good way to create the crosshair? Sure, I could just pop into, like, say, Sprite or something and draw one, but let's test out this draw function. So remember making a radial progress bar? Think of it a wee bit like the one you see in Breath of the Wild. I was futzing around with that. I know we don't need this. because we've tested out the line. We use that line for testing. Everything's working now. She'll be right. So might be cleaner just to make draw stuff. There we go. Just name that there. Put in our own little script here. So I'm just working through my head a way to do this so that it doesn't require a little trial and error. Well, there's nothing wrong with trial and error, it's just might be a wee bit boring. So we'll call update there, we'll call func draw. And this one we might go func ready. Ooh, fancy. Self.z index. We'll make this equal to, let's call it 100. So anything we draw is above what is there. Because if you notice with that line that we had before, as it worked down the hierarchy over here, goes level 0 where the code was, draw stuff there, and then on the next tick it's draw what's on the tile map, then the player, then debug, timer. So they're all layered on top of each other. The plan is that I can just reference draw stuff here, and it doesn't have to be like on top. Everything could be down here for all we really know, because it's Z index, which should be over here. Here it says 0, but in the script over here, when it's ready or when it loads up and stuff, we'll set it to 100. And we put in the code just so that we don't have to like futz around if we need to draw stuff to another scene or whatever. So we go draw cursor. We shall make our own one called draw cursor. Version equals vector 2 dot 0. Oh, 0. Oh, whoops, that's a 0, not a circle. Draw cursor, we're going to go cursor position. And call this origin. No, actually we don't need a calc for now. If we go draw arc, center is going to be origin. Radius will make it 4. Start angle. Maybe. Whoops. Go here. We'll go draw arc. Is this radians? doesn't say, it just says float. Oh, trial and error, I suppose. If it's radians, cool. If it isn't, whatever. Start angle, just make it 0 and 360. Make it 16 points, make it a bit smooth. Make the color to white so it pops out. What is the anti-alias? No, we won't need that. So we go here, we reference, here we go, unready var draw stuff equals go draw stuff. And we're going to go dot cursor position equals, actually we can make this standalone. Instead of reusing those ones, I can just make my own one here. Just set this process to cursor position equals get global mouse position. Yes, update there. And did I miss anything with it? Oh, there we go, got a little fella there. That's fine. And everything else still works. No collisions with it because it's just a drawing, there's no physics behind it. Okay, let's see. F1 again, we'll go cursor, item list cursor, line edit. Import cursor arrow set, default cursor shape. Okay, mouse curl. So those are all to do with control nodes. Mouse entered, mouse entered, get position, okay, get local mouse position, no. Mouse notification, import. What projects? Oh, there we go. It's actually in project settings. Okay. Going to search for mouse. Pointing and input devices, emulate mouse from touch, mouse cursor. Custom. Oh, okay, didn't know it could do that. Another big thing that helps with, where are we? No, not that one, not that one, not that one. Let's go to this one. Is and any programmer will tell you this, if you're stuck on something or you need to do one specific thing that you're not quite sure how to do, you can always just search online. Just Google it. That is taking its while. Close down some of these tabs. What have we got? Oh, that's taken quite a while. Well, it isn't essential. It would be nice to do, but while that's loading, we'll just get this working again. Cursor. Separation style. I'm in the wrong thing, aren't I? Item list, yeah, not after that. Hey, you guys should use Google, it'd be great. Well, if it decides to load. How about now? Hey, there we go. And oh, I already searched it up. When did I do that? Huh. Okay, cool. So I guess it must work then. Godot. Yeah, YouTube videos could work, but hide the cursor in Godot. Okay, got a little. Maybe should have cancelled that. Have an idle. How do I change the mouse cursor? Video. Input singleton input dot set mouse mode. Oh, that's for Windows. Project settings, display mouse cursor. Yes, however. Oh, well, guess we just have to do it this way then. Instead of cursor arrow, if you want to change the default shape of the control nodes, use mouse control. Default shape instead of this input mouse motion. Set custom mouse cursor, move join mapping. Mouse mode hidden. Okay, well, let's give this a shot. Oh, okay, that'll do. So you can move around, shoot, put a little circle. For a wee bit of fun, let's go in here and do. Whoop. Draw a line. Let's make it like a old school kind of. So we'll do it from origin minus to let's see, we made that 4. Let's make this 6. So this will be the horizontal one, 6, 0. To origin plus 6, 0. Whoops, not there. Here. Well, color white. Let's see what we did there. 0 to 360 is 4? 4. 4. And let's try this one, but instead we're going to move 6 there, and we're going to move, whoops, 6 there. Okay, whoops. Get back there. Here. Save. F5 to test. And oh, okay. Oh wait, that wasn't thickness, that was radius. Okay, my bad, my bad. Think. Should really use the tooltips when testing stuff. Oh. Yeah, maybe a little bit thicker. Let's do 2. How does this look? Oh, no. I have to call this width. Whoops. Oh, it's because we didn't define one. Oh. Just make that 1, then 1, 1. So this should look a wee bit better now. Let's see. Float is 1. From their color width. Try 0.5. Whatever, we just need a little thing in there instead of trying to futz around and get it looking perfect. We can sort that later on because it's only very small. So let's jump back to here. We can now hide the cursor. We can now create crosshair. Okay. Oops. Better get rid of that green. It looks a bit silly. Heading to-do list. Number 3. Okay, we're going to do go board hitting stuff. We'll make it simple wall destroy bullet. We'll go target, damage, target. We'll leave the player out for now because I want to make it at the moment so we just have a basic target range. We can get that working, that'll be excellent. So we just do targets. Because there's lots of things you can do to control enemy behavior, but if we just keep it as like targets, then maybe moving targets that can shoot you, that'll be fine for the prototype. You don't need like advanced pathfinding or dodging player movements, anticipation, all that kind of stuff. Just keep it simple for now. So we'll go health. We'll just make it HP. Zero HP. Okay. Yeah, I suppose that'll do for now. Rightio, now we're getting somewhere. Things are getting interesting. So, 2D scene. We are going to make you into a... Keep it stationary for now, so we'll just change this type. Rigid body 2D. Target. Yes, and we're going to add everyone's favorite, a color rect. We'll make this not too big of a target, I suppose. Just make a well, not that one. Need to make this a child. Just make it white, and it will go white, then grey, then black, then destroy, or white, then grey, then what have you. Just Butterfingers, come on. Collision shape 2D. All right. This time we'll just make it a rectangle. Yeah. We'll save you as target. That'll work. Add another script. Scripts target. Okay, we're going to do absolutely nothing with this. So all the collision based stuff we'll leave on the bullet. Just keeps everything simple, I think. Because if you remember on the bullet we've got this on body entered. Because this doesn't have any collision, it just detects when it's overlapping something. So body entered on bullet body entered. We'll tie all the code to that. So before I forget, we'll go to groups. We'll go here. This belongs to the group target. Well, this belongs to the group player. And with the tile map, make one called walls. Because you want to make it behave differently when it hits a target, when it hits a wall. So you can do fancy things. if it hits a wall and stuff, like take this individual tile, maybe change it to this or something, or make it show damage or whatever. We'll just leave it there because we can get some more information. Not too much information, but enough information to do things. We'll leave that there. Okay, so first things first, we're going to do HP equals, we're going to make you three. For call this one shades, which is going to be an array. Color black, color, whoops, gray. Well, they probably have American spelling, gray. Yeah, gray. All American English. It's like how you'd have colour. Because I'm in Australia, we do the British spelling, so it'll be like that. But it doesn't work with code. Pops up an error. Just one of those silly little quirks that comes up with programming. Silver. Grey, silver, will make you color white. Okay. Black, grey, silver, white. Which means that we'll have to reference unready var box color rect. You won't be needing, we'll be needing this. Box color equals shades HP. So we'll do the third one, like on start, take the third HP from the third value in here, so it'll be 0, 1, 2, 3. So it'll be white when it starts. Okay. Funk hurt. Actually might put in a signal for this. Connect. Hurt to self. I'm going to call the one that's called hurt. Just there. Okay. So on this, we're going to go HP greater than 0. HP take away 1. Going to go box color. Box color equals shades HP. If HP is less than or equal to 0. Is less than or equal to 0. This could cause problems later on, but we'll do it like this for now. I'm going to wait for this. So this is basically a coroutine which says that stop what you're doing in the script. When you get to this point, wait for 0.2 seconds. Well, create a timer that runs for 0.2 seconds and wait for it to stop running. Then you can move on. Let me go self cue free. So at the moment, when hurt is triggered, if HP is greater than 0, take away 1. Update the box color. If it's 1 and it becomes 0, so therefore if HP is less than or equal to 0, set up set up this slight delay and cue free, which is destroy itself after 0.2 seconds. So when it has 0 HP, it'll go black for a small amount of time, then disappear. And yeah, so because we've put this target in a group called target, come back to bullet, pop into its script. It has this thing here on bullet entered body that pretty much says alive, false. That destroys the bullet itself. But you've got this reference here called body. Now what you can do is you can see what body the bullet has hit, whether it's a target, a player, a wall, whatever it is. Then yeah, it can perform a whole bunch of actions. So if we go, if body is in group, well, target, go body emit signal hurt. Since it tells the body, in this case it would be a target, to emit a signal called hurt. Back in target, we connected a signal whenever it's emitted to run this function. This function is here, which gets rid of some HP or destroys the target. Yep. And just to be safe, we'll just put this in. If it's anything else, ignore it. And regardless of whatever it hits, it will set alive to false, which will cause it to go bang, free itself from the queue. And I just realized I didn't add in any targets. That's excellent. So we just put a little fella here, and we'll just put this here. A few targets. Yeah. So now when we test this, it should be working, except for the fact that they have their own behaviors going. Okay, but we know how to fix that. We go here, go to target, go back to inspector, we turn gravity scale to 0. Yeah. So, can't shoot through the wall. That's kind of important. Shoot target. Yeah, the difference between silver and grey, say, probably mix it up just a wee bit. So if we go back to target, is there a dark grey? I suppose just make it red. I mean, why not? Red is bad guy. Wait, is that a color? Yes, dark red. And I need one more. Let's try orange. Oh, orange red. Oh, that's kind of cool. So these should be a lot more noticeable when it shoots and breaks things. Well, damages target. So, new, pew. Okie dokie. Well, I'd say that's a great success. Make target object. We're going to go, yes. It has HP. It destroys itself in 0 HP. Damage target. Yep. Destroy bullets. That's already built in. Because we don't have any wall-specific collision actions. Well, events, rather. The bullet just destroys when it hits a wall. The same can be done for the player, etc, etc, etc. Okay. To do list number 4. Cool beans. So that's funny, since we first started about, oh, let's see, just about 2 hours ago, because we've been keeping track of what we're doing with the checklist. Already it's a lot of stuff. Well, of course, you have people saying, well, you could be doing this and better, and you kind of got stuck on this other part when you were trying to get the bullets to work. But, like I said, don't stress the small things. It just helps you keep motivated. You're like, getting stuff done, this is awesome. So, might put in some tracking of the objective for the game. So yeah, but got an idea how to sort this out. We're going to go objective system. It's going to do is count targets, display objective, change objective when all targets are dead. Change objective. Okay, and the next one, well, as you can tell from that, it's just destroy all the targets. Congratulations, you won this level 00. Go on to the next thing, which I reckon for now we'll just have it restart the game. I mean, yeah, should be fine. So we'll go, let's call this game loop. So we're going to go track targets. When all the targets are dead, whoop, create and exit. Well, exit. All targets dead, create and exit. Game on exit. Exit. Put that in. Okay, so that means we need an exit as well. So we're going to create object. Detect player collision, restart the game. Okay, so yeah, let's get cracking. So here's the mind-blowing thing. This should be pretty simple, well, not simple, pretty straightforward to implement, because you're detecting collisions when moving into an area. For the exit, when you're inside the exit, trigger something. The other bits of code that we have, this one's like destroy yourself. We can do restart scene instead. In terms of creating it, because over here in level 0, able to preload the scene here for the bullet, we can just make another scene called exit. Create an instance of it, set its position and other variables, add it to there. So when all the targets, we've got to count all the targets, when all the targets are destroyed, then create the exit, using similar code to this. As this is a prototype, we'll just make a copy and paste of this, but usually if you're making like your proper games, instead of having it shoot, you just make the function say spawn object, and inside here with your different arguments you put into there, you can say what type of object you want to create, where do you want to create it, what else does it need to do, etc, etc, etc. Because it's good practice not to waste time creating, you know, different variations of one line of code or one chunk of code. You try to, like, you know, streamline, keep everything together. But for a prototype, you can get away with spit and duct tape pretty much. I mean, unless I know you're studying for a test or an assignment, then yeah, clean up your code. Just, you know, make it look pretty. Here, nah, not really. It's whatever works. So, get the objective system going. To keep it simple, we'll just use that text box we've got up here, which was debug. So Okay, we'll go var target count. Whoop, count. Target count equals. We'll just call it 0 for now. On ready, I'm going to use a for loop for I n self get child count. If self get child I dot is in is in group target. To go whoop target take it or tag it. It's a movie I haven't seen in a while. Is Beverly Hills Cop. Good film. Target count add 1. Else pass. Not necessary, but just to be safe. So I is the iteration. So that means for however many children are in the thing over here, there's a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times. Look through every single child. So I'll be look at the tile map. Is it in the group? No. Player, is it in the group? Target? No. Debug? No. Timer? No. Draw stuff? No. Target? Yes, it is. Add 1. Target 2? Yes. Add 1. Target 3? Yes. Add 1. So by the end of this, it'll change target count from 0 to 3, or if I add more targets, 4, 5, however many. And debug text changes to whoops, get rid of that. I'll put in a new function actually. Here we just, okay, we'll go here, we'll go objective. There, objective. Count is greater than 0. Debug text is going to be shoot the targets. Else. Actually, the target's going to go to the exit. Okay. So we need to find a way to update the counting of the targets. Because for that objective one, it needs to keep checking the target count. Instead of running all this again, because we already know how many are there, they're not being dynamically created or anything. You need to find a way to detect when it is. So bullet, we're going to make a signal in here. signal die. Emit signal die. So back here, when we are shooting, I'm going to go B connect. Connect die. Target object is B dot get. No, we're gonna go. B self. Wait. Give me a second. So. Trial and error, we'll just do it anyway. Well, method, update, target, count. Yes. So, when the bullet dies, it emits the signal called die to level 00, that's where we'll put it. Does the function update target count. So we are going to grab this here, we're going to go target count equals target count. Update target count, which means we need to go variable calc equals 0. For I, etc, etc, etc. We're not going to go target count there, we're going to go calc plus 1, else pass. That loop is done running, we're going to return calc 0, it'll count through 3 targets, going through the loop, we'll change calc from 0 to 3, and it will return the value of calc out of this function, which will then update the target count. Because if we didn't keep it in here, what would happen is saying, oh, we don't have calc, we'll just keep iterating onto target count. So you've got 3 targets, one of them's destroyed, goes to update target count. Instead of going from 0, it'll go from 3. So 3 plus 2, it'll be 5. Then if it happens again, it'll go 6, then 7 when it's all destroyed. And yeah, eventually it'll be like, hey, why isn't the exit showing? Well, because it isn't 0, it's 7. So, and also we streamlined it. Instead of having to copy this again, move it to somewhere else, we just made a little update target thing, which is not what we'll be doing for the shoot one, for the exit. But, let's see. Okay, so we'll do this actually. Shoot target count plus shoot however many targets are left, more targets. So if we test this, hopefully things should work. Shoot 3 more targets. more targets. Aha. So it's not linking. Knew that would happen, kind of. Yeah. I'm an idiot. I don't need that. Linking the bullets, not the targets, the thing. That's why it's not working. Okay. So put you there for now. Going to grab this. Oops, so much for doing this fancy way. We just have that iterate there at the ready. We're going to make just going to go self get child. We're going to connect that to there. Update target count. Calc is there. Calc isn't declared in the current scope. We're going to go target count. Whoop. I've gone this big spiel about, oh, make sure your code's clean and stuff. Bugger. Update target count minus equal 1. Ah, it still works. Get parent. Maybe that'll work. Let's see. No errors so far. If current is in group, go current, connect what's in current inside the target. The target has Get child known to be level G. You mean get child funct object? Yep, that's my bad. Accidentally put down square bracket. Signal die from viewport update. Okay. Calling method from signal die. Current update target count. Method not found. Because that's going from the viewport. Because that is accidentally closing down my project. Oh. Whoops. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's try that again. So it's not the parent, you could do self. It's referring to self as in level 00, not the thing we're creating. Okay, please. 2 more targets. Hey, there we go. 1 more target. Yay! Get to the exit. Cool. Where's the exit? Okay. So, that's why when we go here, we'll put the spawning of the exit here. Because it's one of those, while we're in the neighborhood, let's just check the target count. Less than or equal to 0. Let's put you there for now. So we can find, here we go, var preload instance. I'm going to call this exit, even though it doesn't exist at all. Call that vector 2 0. Because once again it doesn't exist. It won't have a motion vector, and it will have a child. So we're just going to change these to E. So it says can't preload resource it, etc, etc. It's because it don't exist yet. Doesn't it? Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, cool. New other node, we're going to make you area 2D. Yes. Before we get grab wood, boop, 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 boop. Okay. Collision. Collision shape 2D. Make you a circle. Just a wee circle. Then we're going to go here. Color. Rect. Scoot you down there. And while we're here, I'll put on a label. Exit. go to custom colors, you're going to make these like that. I don't need an outline. Stretch out to there. We're going to center you. Change your color to maybe a yellow. Yeah, that'll do for now. Now when we save this into scenes, exit, save. So there, if we go back to here, that should sort itself out. Yeah, instance position. Put it here, so that'll be let's do 64 by 64. That'll probably be just a good place to start. 64 by 64. Exit. This is going to be really straightforward, as it's only going to be doing one thing, but it will do it well. Hopefully. So go node, we're going to collect body entered, connect to exit. If body dot is in group player, which we've already set up before, get tree reload current scene. Yeah. And just to be safe, else pass. Just in case it's a bullet or whatever. Even though that should cover it, just to be safe. So let's give it a test. Alright. So the objective there, that's behaving correctly. Exit. Oh, get to the exit. Oh, wee bit of stuttering. Okay. Body isn't group player. Good. Wait, I did put the player in a player group, right? Yeah. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, let's try that again. Okay. Yep. And there we go. So that's done. It's done. And that's done. Fantastic. So now we've got a very basic prototype. Start doing some tweaking to the way it plays. So you make you 72. I'm going to open up Bullet. We're going to crank up your speed a wee bit. I'm going to tweak this to 0. Speed. Go. Equals 128. We'll just call that for now. Then we're going to set you there too. Speed equals vector 2. It's probably an easier way to do this, but once again, whoops. So Bullet, we're going to change you to 256. I just realized it isn't going to work. Oh, bugger. That's only for this, not the instance, so I don't know, getting a little bit too far ahead of myself. Okay. Here's a little bit better. Let's see. Actually, I was thinking maybe we could clean this up weird, but that's pretty good at the moment, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Draw stuff. Exit. It's mind-numbingly simple. Doesn't need to be tweaked that much. Here. Let's try this one. Okay, so that's right in there. Oh, that's right, the center point's right there. Okay. Well, I suppose now's the time that we jump back here. Up above all these to-do things, we'll go... create a wish list. Come on, where are we? Yep, there you go. That bugger. Alright. I'll just add in things I might want to add, because I might wrap things up in a wee bit. I got a fair chunk done today. Might do some stuff off stream, but I don't know, see what happens. With bullets. Whoa. So there's just some other things I've been thinking about. Like I mentioned it before, damaging tile maps with bullets, adding like a magazine clip size, as well as limits for that. Because just from having a feel of how that shooting is working, I reckon instead of doing just that little delay that's going, put in like a magazine or reload kind of system. So say if you've got, I don't know, say a 6-shooter or something, like a revolver, you just go in there, fan away, shoot all your bullets, then you've got to reload for a wee bit. So that way, maybe take out the delay. Timer start. Timer here, we'll change this to 0.2. See, at the moment, like, just looking past the fact they're just squares, I think this is a alright fire rate. Except having like that little pause after you shoot off a couple of rounds. If it's like a western, you got your older cowboy, maybe sci-fi, there could be like a charge system for the weapon. It's like, oh no, your weapon's overheating, firing too much. Because I want to keep the shooting relatively fun, for now we'll just keep it infinite ammo. So that don't have to spend time, you know, ooh, I'm just going to wait and maybe I can let off a shot. Got to be really accurate. Oh no, I missed a shot. No, out of bullets. Can work out something relating to that. But this is later on, mind you. Let's see. Check down, perhaps for the gun. Manipulate gun behavior. This could be like along the lines. So I had an idea for like a top-down shooter, but it's mixed with spaceship shooter power-ups. And how you can have your own player damage tied to your upgrade for your guns. Except it'll be a tricky one to balance, because if it's like a spaceship shooter, you either, when you get hit by an enemy ship, you either lose your power up or you just straight up die. I want to avoid having the one hit kill system going, so maybe, I don't know, maybe something along the lines of Cave Story. You take damage, you downgrade your weapon, you have to collect more experience, level it up a bit more, or yeah, I don't know. I'll put this one in quotes, generated levels. Could do procedurally generated or random roguelike labyrinthian kind of level designs. Like, I've looked into that in the past. It's one hell of a rabbit hole to go down, just seeing all the different spiffy ways you can do stuff. And I've got a few ideas of my own, but I might just keep it simple for now. Like, it's an old game called Food Fight I used to play for Atari. Let's see if we got a... There it is. Whether this will behave is another question altogether. Wait, maybe? Yes, no? I'll give it a wee bit to load. If not, next stream when I come back I'll have some videos saved to demonstrate. The gist of it is, what I wanted to show is that it's pretty much the oldie Atari game. You play as a guy, walks over to piles of food, throws them at chefs, and splat, they get thrown away. You've got to get the ice cream at the other side of the room. There's like 256 levels of that. Good fun and such, except maybe we could do something similar for this game, but just keep it more, not randomly generated, more like a few variations of rooms and you move from one to the other with no backtracking or something. Could be an option. That's right. Because you'll be hunting for gold in the game, well, hunting targets to get gold. Maybe have a town where you can use the gold. Maybe using the gold to rebuild. Rebuild town, help others by transport to next area. Well, a few ideas, just finding a use for the gold. Just think of having it as like, say if it's a Wild West game, you go into a ghost town, you got like a rundown sheriff's department saying, oh, we need a hand because we got all these bounties going around, bushwhacking people. Go there, hunt down some bounties. As you start hunting more bounties, it becomes a lot safer around the place. Therefore, more people come to town. More people come to town, they've got other options and ways you can use gold. But I would like to avoid doing anything too permanent relating to weapons. Like, say, well, if we keep with the Wild West aesthetic, say you start off with just, a regular 6-shooter. It's not like, oh, you're going to upgrade to like, a magazine or clip pistol or something, which could work. Or maybe move on to repeaters, shotguns, all these other, old-timey Wild West weapons and stuff. It'd be a lot to balance. So maybe just, keeping the scope down so that maybe you have one weapon that you like. When you get your power-ups and such, maybe at town you can modify your gun so that you can select which kind of upgrades you get for it. It's like maybe you've got, say, like a shotgun as your weapon. Beginning is just regular buckshot. You upgrade it, maybe it's like, I don't know, uses fire rounds or something. Maybe take it to a place in town, it's like, oh, don't really like fire, maybe ice shot would be cool, or lightning shot. They have like their own slight variations, and it can build out from there. But, I don't know. See what else. Not sure how I want the game to look exactly. Like, well, I've got to decide on what kind of bounty thing is it. Is it Wild West? Is it sci-fi? Is it mafia gangster? I don't know. More modern day times? I don't know. I'll do some thinking on it later on and see what happens, but I think the next one I'll probably have to do is getting some kind of hub, town, home level, home base area, and generator levels out on bounty hunts. Probably be the next thing. Actually, I'll probably do tweaking this gun behavior. Will probably be more prudent, because it is a shooter game. Best if you get the guns to handle correctly before anything else. Just make, like, I don't know, the best possible shooting range or testing area to get it working. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to call it here for today. Yeah, hope you enjoyed yourself or found this interesting. Probably be streaming in another couple of days. If you want links to my itch.io, my Discord, and, well, YouTube channel as well, all of it's down in the description. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I'll catch you later.